universe in a box. And that universe in a box has conscious entities that argue with each other and make cheese and YouTube videos.
What I am going to be honest about is I feel as though like we can't time travel. Like maybe people think I'm crazy for saying that shit, but I think time traveling exists. That I do believe.
Play Minecraft. You can point to them and say, well, they're definitely simulated. And yeah, we have 25 billion simulated brains on our Minecraft server. You know they're simulated. It doesn't tell you if you are simulated or not. It doesn't tell you about your past. So we can't rely on our future selves building enormous numbers of simulations to tell us anything about our probabilities of being in a simulation. Our probabilities depend on our ancestors having the ability, or some alien species out there somewhere having the ability and making human simulations. We don't know. We don't know how common life is in the universe. We don't know how common intelligent life is in the universe. We don't know how much time they've had. Have they had 13 billion years? Have they had 100 billion years? We don't know what our past is. We don't know what the past history of intelligence truly is. And so we don't know really if there is an overwhelming...
Do we know our past intelligence? It hasn't been in front of our face and we haven't paid attention to it because people don't want to pay attention to the Bible or history. And the ones that do pay attention want to pay attention to either one or the other. So shout out to those that do know that the Bible and the history go hand in hand. And once again, this is not to start a fight. This is not to start, an arguing debate. Like, oh, you're right, you're wrong. No, it is to speak out, to put out there the facts, to bring awareness.
Large number of simulated brains. We only know if we were to make a simulation, we would know that the people in that simulation are definitely simulated, but it doesn't tell us about ourselves. So we actually can't calculate these probabilities as reliably as you think we could. My takeaway from the simulation argument: do we live in a simulation? We don't know. There's no experiment that we could perform that could tell us that we do. This is an interesting line of argument, but it is not a persuasive line of argument one way or the other. It doesn't tell us, yes, we definitely live in a simulation. It doesn't tell us, no, we definitely don't. So you can't take the simulation hypothesis and say, yep, we live in a simulation. And you also can't take it and say, nope, we definitely don't. We don't know the difference. And truly, it's an interesting thing to think about. That's what the point of philosophy is, to think and progress and argue. These are good arguments to have. And if we are living in a simulation, I kind of like it. Good job. I don't know why they're up there. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Go to patreon.com/pmsutter. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Even if
Oh, pause it. I don't know what y'all opinions is. Me, I'm going to be very honest. I believe in God. I walk with God by my side. I do have questions about the Bible. Always had questions about the Bible. I've had people, sit here because I've had questions like, "Oh, you need to convert into our church." And no, I don't want to convert. I believe in God. That's it. I walk with Him by my side. Like, I don't know if, my question is, was He something that was real, something spiritual? Like, how did He really create us? Like, did He really have a wife? Did He not really have a wife? You see, I got so many questions like that. Like, what was the purpose of Him really making us, and much more? Like, I've always had questions like that. A lot of them got answered throughout time, me reading and doing my own history, doing my own research. So what we're going to do today is, like I said, we're going to look at a couple of videos, react to them, give our perspectives, give our opinions. And I feel as though like these videos, where they at? Here we go. These videos got good questions. All right.
We humans are unable to experience the true nature of the universe unfiltered.
All right, so this video that we're about to watch is called "Is Reality Real? The Simulation Argument." Is reality real? So like I said, so many questions, some of these videos are surfacing, and I just wanted to talk about it. I would love to hear people's opinions, people's perspectives, and together we could probably figure out some things. Each one to each one.
Our senses and brains can only process a fraction of the world. So we have to use concepts and tools to learn about the true nature of reality. Technological progress not only widened our knowledge about the universe, it also made us aware of unsettling possibilities. In the future, it might become possible to simulate entire universes. But if this is an option, how can we know that it's not already?
See, like I said on the previous video, they're trying. I've been doing, I've been watching a lot of videos, reading a lot of articles. Like they've been trying and they're trying to simulate the earth. They already got the fake foods and all that shit, and they approved it too while we was asleep. But a lot of people don't want to listen to the people that are woke.
Already happened. What if we are not creators, but creations? Is it possible that we are not real and we don't even know it? If our current understanding of physics is correct, then it's impossible to simulate the whole universe with its trillions and trillions of things. But we don't actually need to anyway. We only need enough universe to fool the inhabitants of our simulation into thinking that they're real. Who needs billions of galaxies?
You heard what he said? They only need a portion just to make people think it's real.
We only need the space our subjects are allowed to explore.
The vast universe could just be a flat projection, and they would have no way to know.
What about small things like cells or bacteria? We don't really need them. When you use a microscope, what you see could be instantly created.
Could it?
Same with atoms. The chair you're sitting on right now does not need to be simulated with quadrillions of atoms. We just need the outermost layer of it. It might be empty inside until you decide to break it open. Your body might feel like it's filled with bubbly things, but it might be empty until you open it. The minimum requirement for our simulation is only the consciousness of our virtual humans. Our subjects just need to think the simulation is real. Okay, so are we being simulated? Well,
So once again, right? In his theory, this is not real. Y'all in the chat are not real. In his theory, it's just an illusion to me. But it looks real. It feels real. Banging it hears like it sounds like it's something real. So am I creating an illusion in my head, thinking that this is real? But how can I pick it up? Things that make you like, listen. We reacting to this together.
maybe, but there are a few conditions that need to be met. Obviously, we have no authority over this topic, so please take everything we say with a grain of salt. Based on a modified version of the original simulation argument by Nick Bostrom, we have 5 assumptions for you. If they're true, you, dear viewer, are living in a simulation. Assumption 1. It's possible to simulate consciousness. Nobody knows what consciousness is. For the sake of argument, let's assume that you could generate consciousness by simulating a brain. Brains are pretty complex.
If you count every interaction between synapses as one operation, your brain runs at about 10 to the power of 17, or 100 million billion operations per second. Let's generously assume we need 10 to the power of 20 operations to simulate 1 second of human consciousness. But we don't want to simulate just one human. We want to simulate all of human history at once so we can skip around. Let's say we want to simulate.
And how are you going to manage to do all this?
200 billion humans with an average lifespan of 50 years. 1 year has 30 million seconds times 50 years times 200 billion humans times 10 to the power of 20 operations.
So we need a computer able to handle 1,000,000 trillion operations per second.
So in order to get an illusion created, you know, for the whole world to believe, they need a giant computer. Do they have it? Have they found it? Why are we having so many distractions? Is my biggest question.
Second, more operations than there are stars in the observable universe. A computer like this is just impossible. Except maybe it isn't. Assumption 2. Technological progress will not stop anytime soon. If we assume that technological progress continues in a similar fashion as it has so far, then there might be galaxy-spanning civilizations with unlimited computer power at some point. Beings on a technology level so advanced that we could barely distinguish them from gods. A computer that can handle 1,000,000 trillion operations is serious business, but there are actually concepts for computers which could handle this. The Matryoshka brain is a theoretical megastructure made up of billions of parts orbiting a star feeding on its radiation. A computer of this scale would have enough power to simulate many thousands, if not millions, of humanities at the same time. Other technologies, like high-end future quantum computers, might lower the size drastically, so it might be possible to do this with a structure the size of a large city, or even smaller. But only if there's still someone around to build the computer. Assumption 3.
Once again, it proves my point from the same question that I asked the last time. Who's running the program? If it's all a simulation, who's running it?
Advanced civilizations don't destroy themselves. If there is a point at which all civilizations destroy themselves, this whole discussion ends here. Looking into space, you'd expect a universe filled with millions of alien civilizations, but we see nobody. The reason for this might be great filters. Great filters are barriers life has to overcome, like nuclear war, asteroids, climate change, or a black hole generator. If life is inherently self-destructive, then there are no simulations. We explain this in more detail in our Fermi paradox video. Assumption 4. Super advanced civilizations want to run simulations. When we speak of post-human civilizations, we don't know what we're dealing with. To think we know what beings as powerful as gods want is pretty arrogant. Imagine the smartest ant on Earth living next to an amusement park.
That leads to another one of my questions. Are there more than one God? How many gods were there? And how is it that mankind managed to supposedly, allegedly tame them?
It's curious about what humans are up to, so you try to explain. Unfortunately, the ant just doesn't understand. The concept of roller coasters and standing in lines and holidays and fun doesn't make sense to an ant living an ant life. It's the same with us and a post-human being. Compared to them, we are ants. Running simulations for fun or science might be an absurdly stupid idea to them. But if they do want to run simulations for whatever reasons, and assumptions 1 to 3 are true too, then the chances are not zero that you are living inside a simulation. Assumption 5. If there are a lot of simulations, you are probably inside a simulation. If there are simulated civilizations, it's likely that there are a lot of them. After all, we assume that post-human beings have access to practically unlimited computing power. So if they run simulations, it would be convenient to run millions or even billions of them. If there are billions of simulated universes, there are probably trillions and trillions of simulated conscious beings, which would mean that the vast majority of all conscious beings that will ever have existed are simulated. So for every conscious being made of flesh, 1 billion simulated ones exist.
Since we have no way of knowing if we are simulated or not, in this case, the chances of you being one of the 999,999,999 simulated ones are pretty high. So what you consider reality might not be real at all. You really might be simulated.
Yeah.
All of this is based on a lot of assumptions that we can't really test right now.
So wouldn't that mean that we would have to wake up somewhere, like a machine simulating us, or Could it be like in that show that's on Netflix that I've been watching for a while, and it's a really good show. I recommend a lot of people to watch it. There's a show called Black Mirror, right? And there's an episode in the show where they're in space, and these people got these robot replicas of them. They're on Earth, right? And they got the normal lives. They're replacing them, but they look like humans. And on this episode, it's crazy because they go to sleep. They go lay in this bed up in a ship out in outer space, right? And they put this little chip into a computer when they lay down. And somehow, some way, when they go to sleep, their consciousness gets transferred to this robot. And they're living a normal life here on Earth while their body is up on space. That's a simulation. So, we have simulations. My stream is unavailable. Hold on 1 second, guys. I need to know in the chat if anybody can hear me. What? Something's wrong. Hi, I don't know if anybody in the chat could actually hear me. Can y'all put a 1? Is y'all able to see what I'm doing? Because it said I had my live was interrupted for a second. So I need to make sure. I don't want to keep talking and the video is not actually playing. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm still live. Okay, I see it now. I see it. I don't know what just happened. It said they suspended my live. Okay, I don't know if anybody's in the chat or what's going on, but I'm trying to fix this. I'm hoping I can fix it. Hold on. All right, I think I'm back. I hope I'm back. I'm not sure, but I'm hoping that I'm back. For some reason, I think they was about to suspend my live. I'm not sure why. No reason to suspend my live because I am not going against violations. So give me 1 second while I do this because they always do this to a shorty. I don't know what's going on. Yo, what's up, man? Why y'all playing with me like that? This world is crazy. I would say shady. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use allows limited use of copyrighted material without permission from the copyright holder for purposes such as criticism, parody, news reporting, research, and scholarships and teaching. Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this video or any video, including the Writers for Life Brings You to Let's Talk About It podcast, do not reflects on the opinions of your shorty Racheal and the members of the Writer for Life podcast. Everything we talk about is allegedly and is our opinion. Our videos are not recommended for minors. Everything we talk about and do is meant for educational purposes and also entertainment. Please keep in mind that the majority of our videos are for educational purposes only. This world is crazy. I would say shady. Ironic, right? Nowadays, you can't trust no one. When you do, niggas be having their panties all in a bunch, thinking that they own one. Saying the things that you accomplished in life is theirs and that you owe them one. All right. So I don't know why they did that. My live was just interrupted. So let's continue. I'm not sure if anybody can hear me, but I'm gonna keep talking. All right, let's play. Let's press play because I lost track of where I was.
So many scientists disagree with this whole thought experiment. So don't burn your house down to test if there will be glitches. If you are simulated, not that much changes for you. You might be on a small planet speeding through eternal nothingness, or a simulation inside a computer. Your existence does not become more or less scary and bizarre. All we can hope to do is try to live good lives and have a good time. And hope that if we actually are simulations in a supercomputer, nobody trips over the power cable.
Oh no. I think I just unplugged the simulation. But what if that doesn't matter? What if we are in one right now? What if you are simulated?
Jake over at Vsauce 3 is looking into that. Click here to watch his video and subscribe to his channel.
So those were all really, really good questions, right? Is God real? You know, me personally, like I've said before, I believe in God. I walk with God by my side. I will never stop believing in God. I know that there's so many theories out here when it comes to, aliens and so much more. But here's one thing that I can say is that I'm not going to sit here and go by he say, she say. I want to sit here and do my own research. And that's why I'm doing these panels like this. So as y'all can see, I put a little bit of the clips out there that, they're talking about the most right now. So